Are you struggling with stress, anxiety, or anger? Well, this video is gonna be for you. Hi, my name is 𝗺𝘂𝘀𝗶𝘰. On this channel I talk about self-improvement, philosophy, and life in general. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about emotions and how to manage emotions. Well, let me first start with how to not treat emotions. And that would be, if you experience emotions like anger, if you immediately let it out at the person that made you angry, most of the time it has a lasting impact. When the emotion would go away after a few minutes, the consequences of letting your anger out, they won't. So don't let them out immediately. Now, what you also should not be doing is swallowing your emotion, like collecting your anger, your frustration. What this will lead to is eventually it will all explode, you know? There will be one moment, that moment you will be like so angry, you know, that you're gonna throw bags around. So don't do that as well. Instead, what you should be doing is what I'm gonna tell you now. Okay, so first of all, acknowledge emotions are natural but also temporary. When we all experience emotions in our lives, emotions are always temporary. Be careful with what emotions you show and what you don't. Now let's get to the practice. Practice meditation, specifically mindfulness meditation, like at least once a day. And why, I will explain now. So when you meditate, you will, through that mindfulness, gain a more rational outlook on the situation. So you will recognize when you're angry and you will think like twice about what I'm gonna do now, which is really powerful. It also helps, like, let's say if you're in the supermarket and you see all the like candies, sweets, it will also help you like resist these kinds of urges towards like sweets or quick dopamine, because you will think twice about the consequences. That's often the problem with emotions. You don't think about the consequences it will have. Now that brings us to the second point, which is reflect on your emotions once a day, like in your journal or something. In the evening you write about the specific emotions that you felt that day, like if you had a specific situation throughout the day, analyze it, you know, reflect on it. So now let's talk about how to overcome specific emotions, and we start with fear and anxiety. If you want to overcome fear and anxiety, there's one specific thing you can do, and that is try to think rational about the situation. Let's say you just want to know where the cheese is in the supermarket. So you analyze the situation, and let's say you're afraid to talk to the cashier, where's the cheese or something. So let's analyze the situation. You want to have cheese. You're in the supermarket and the person knows where the cheese is because they work there. They have to know it, and they also have to like treat you. So if you rationalize the situation, it's actually not that bad. And that is for most situations where you experience some kind of fear or anxiety. So yeah, rationalize the situation, and most often that will help you. Now the next thing is grief and loss. I think the best thing you can do about grief and loss is accepting it. This will not be easy, but you know, life is what it is, and loss is a part of life, so you will have to accept it. And every time you experience some kind of loss, you will become better at accepting it. Now let's talk about anger. Oftentimes we are angry about things that are so dumb to be angry about. So think about the situation rationally. Is it really worth being angry about it? And most often it's not. No, actually there aren't really situations where it's worth being angry about the person. So yeah, don't let you anger yourself. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't use this anger, but in a good way, and that is the gym. So what I actually believe is anger is one of the best motivations. So if you can like take that to the gym, kill the workout, I promise you afterwards you will not feel the anger anymore, but you will have used this energy for something that is positive. And now let's talk about the last one, which is stress. And for stress, I can only give you the advice: focus on what you can control and not on what you can't. When you stress about something that you can't control and blah blah blah, Just focus on what you can control. You know, start doing something about it. You know, what often happens is you have a lot to do and you are so stressed out about it and you think, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I have no time, blah blah blah, and then you waste the time that you would have to like do at least some other things, and you misuse that time for basically nothing. Just focus on what you can control, and if you can't do everything, then I guess that's alright. I hope you have learned something from this video. You can now watch my video about reflection, which is kind of related to the topic. And if you like this video, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and as I always say, remember guys, keep moving forward.